Hello, everybody, especially you garden lovers, more specifically, you Marvin garden lovers. It is a very peaceful, calm, if a bit cloudy, June late afternoon, and this is, in fact, Marvin Gardens June 2026. So there's a lot to look at. So, excuse me. Let's get going. I'm going to turn this around. And we'll notice that over here, one of my garden buddies is sniffing around and chomping on whatever he thinks is chompable. Ranger was just here a minute ago. The Asian leeks or garlic chives are looking like this right now. Well, this isn't part of them. That's part of a pond iris. But they're not doing a whole lot right now. The pond irises are about as big and tall as they get and are going to be looking more ugly as time goes on. There is really virtually nothing to show you in the greenhouse. Some seeds we got from China that were supposed to be, well, one was labeled succulents. They look like clover to me, and the other was not labeled at all, and they look like I don't know what. So we're just letting them grow, since at least they did grow. Now, on to other things, and we're going to say that we've got lots of petunias in the hanging planters, and we also have, if you look in there, and I think I can zoom in a little bit, we got some cucumbers hanging from that planter, and we pulled some cucumbers from the plant hanging off this hanger, which also has some petunias, and these two don't have any cucumbers but have petunias. And by the way, I think I'm going to be showing you all kinds of, hopefully all kinds of harvest baskets as we go along here. But I won't mention them because I can't remember which ones I have of what. But anyway, on that far end there is green broccoli, and all of which have been harvested. And then these next two rows are cabbage, and we got both green and red cabbage, and boy, they're looking pretty good. I mean, that's almost harvestable there. I think that's a Bronco. Then we got, this is a row of, am I pointing this the right way? Purple broccoli, purple magic, and they have also all been harvested. So all we're doing here is side shoots, and I don't really see any right now. I've got one stray yellow cauliflower here that isn't doing very well, and one stray cabbage that also isn't doing very well. But I also have the rest of this row of cabbages that are doing just fine, and I've got a row of Brussels sprouts which aren't producing any Brussels sprouts as yet, but they don't look too bad, provided I keep ahead of them in the Department of Keeping Caterpillars Out department. That's a very nice looking yellow cauliflower head. I can't remember the variety, but who knows. And here's another one that's just, there it is, little, but looks okay. This one, the leaves are kind of chewed up a little bit, and it's doesn't look as good, but it's coming in. And then we've got some white cauliflower. That one is looking lovely. This one is looking not as lovely, but will probably come in okay. And yes, I don't remember exactly the varieties. Here's a nice one. And let's see if I can get my hand down there so you can get a feel for the size. That is a lovely cauliflower that's ready to be harvested. There's a couple others here. A little hard to see, but there's a littler one down there. Now, lettuce, which is this row right here, is all gone because we had to harvest quickly all the ones that bolted. These are still coming in okay. And those are a green butterhead. Oh, Nancy, I guess is the variety. Meanwhile, these celery are looking great. We've been chopping off the outside stalks rather than taking the whole plants in hopes that the inside stalks will also yield some more. And but they're looking good. Nobody's fading or drooping or anything. And this is all carrots. We've got 3 varieties going here. We did do some carrot thinning, and like I say, I think I probably have a harvest basket of those. These look like they were chomped off by deer, who are very lazy. They just reach over the fence and chomp. They won't go in the fence if they can avoid it. Now, this whole row is stuff like that. And again, to give you, it's hard to really give you a sense of how thick, wide, whatever that is. But they're certainly blooming, aka going to seed. But I don't think that really bothers these daikon radishes at all. But they probably should be harvested any time now. I'm not doing a very good job on camera work here, but there they are, and they're doing fine. But they will hold in the ground okay, so I probably won't pull them today, but I'm going to pull a lot of other stuff today. All right, so let's talk about the herb garden proper. This is the garlic chives, Asian leeks here, and the regular chives. This is the Greek oregano, which we had to tie up because it was falling all over the place. It's, I don't know if you can tell, but that's a good 4 feet tall. The lavender isn't blooming too much, but the plants look okay anyway, so we'll hold out hope. And down here we got rosemary, which seems to be doing fine. Chives, and none of the chives have died off the way the common chives typically do so far. So that's good. Now here we got German winter thyme, blooming, but I think it's still usable as an herb. And look at this Wega parsley. It's just, we've used a lot of it, and it's just looking fine, bright green and lovely. This is basil. I can't quite remember the variety, but isn't that typical? And this is Ranger, right, boy? Good boy, Range. You love coming out the garden, don't you? Even when you can't get into the compost heap, huh? Well, you can't go in there either. This is called white dill, and it's more of a flowering plant than an herb plant, I believe. But and I haven't even sniffed it yet to see if it smells like dill. But it certainly is blooming nicely. Had to tie it up too because it grows tall and falls right over. So, okay. And no, you can't. You can't go in there. Don't go in there. Don't jump over that fence. Okay. You hear the tree frogs? That's what those sort of bird-like sounding guys are. All right. The grow house is... Wait a minute. Make it so we're not focused on the screen. Doing fine. I've got 3 or 4 female blossoms that I've attempted to pollinate. And that should be going on almost a daily basis from this point out. So hopefully we'll get some to go. And you can see I've been putting down hay mulch, and on the right there is a row of come on, Marvin, a row of okra. And the blooms aren't showing now, but I think I have a still of the lovely blooms that show up in the afternoon. In the middle there, we've got eggplant. They're doing much better than they were the last time. And these are the healthiest, biggest looking pepper plants we have. The others may have been a little overwatered. And once again, we've managed to let the scallions get much bigger than they need to be. I guess I'm going to have to figure out how to do some succession planting for them, because although they remain usable, their optimum is the ones that we've harvested already. Then we got onions. No, I'm sorry. Well, we do have onions, but first we have leeks. And these leeks are looking pretty darn good. And they also are on the verge of being harvestable, if not harvestable. So we're going to try to get them harvested soon. Then we got onions. And the nice thing about the onions is that all varieties, right there, are starting to bulb. At least a lot of them are starting to bulb. Those are the Pattersons. These are the, there we go, Red Wing. And then we've got Elsa Craig. And here's a good one to show you that's blooming. Not blooming, bulbing. A couple down here too. So they're looking pretty good. Then here's an experiment that so far is working great, and that's letting all the flowers that came up as volunteers and planting some more in here has so far worked pretty nicely, because this is a lovely bed of mostly calendula, only because the sunflowers haven't started blooming profusely yet, although I think we do have some that we've already snipped and put inside. So there's probably a still of that here. And I think we've got straw flowers that are planted and coming in. That's probably those right there. So we've got that to look forward to. And there's Frankie. Frankie is looking forward to whatever's going to happen in this bed, which is corn. And as you might recall, I'm growing ultraviolet, which is a sweet corn, but it's reddish or I suppose violet-ish. Now you can see these rows on this end are a little skimpy. We think they might have just been overwatered. We're going to be feeding the whole bed shortly, so hopefully they'll catch up. Now that brings us to bed number 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yes. And these are all peppers, and as you can see, they're not quite as big as the peppers that we just showed you before, but they're doing okay, and I think they're going to do fine, especially after the next feeding. And we got summer squash. Some of this summer squash is squash that should have been harvested already, but I wanted you to see it sort of on the vine in the garden video. Some of them are not so big. And then we've even got somewhere here, I think that's a, can you see that? Sorry, hold on. There it is. A scallop squash coming in. It looks like there's a lot more of those coming in, but they're a little later than the others. And, oh, I see. This is a little bit of a problem here because this guy is kind of droopy and it shouldn't be. But there's a huge overripe zucchini, and there's 2 more, one which is overripe and one which is ripe enough. They're very fat, stumpy zucchini, because these are the ones I bought as plants. Come on, Marvin, you're not doing very well. There we go. As plants, because my seedlings did terribly. Now, this is a winter squash, which I bought by mistake. Now I can't remember if it's a spaghetti squash or... I think it's spaghetti squash. But it's a winter squash, which I did not intend to have out here. But since I got it and it's growing, I let it go. Now, the tomatoes have all been caged, and they're looking pretty good, except for I need to come in here and tuck these things inside the cages. That's what they're for, to keep space in between so we can harvest them. And let me see, can you... I'm not doing this. There we go. There they are. Okay. I think these are Juliets, and as you can see, they're coming in pretty well. And can I find... there is one down here. Let me see if I can get the camera down there. There it is. So that's a pretty nice looking... That's going to be the beefsteak variety of whatever I'm growing here. And that brings us to pole beans. And as you can see, the pole beans are climbing up the poles. And some are even out here looking for some place to go. And they're not sure where they can go. But we do have... Can I show you? Can you see? Yes, that right there is a little string bean or a little pole bean, and all these blossoms here will become pole beans. So very encouraged, much better than what we had going on last year. So that's pretty good. And this is of course the far side. Oop, don't do the screen, Mar. Far side of the pumpkin patch. In fact, that's that bloom about mid-screen there is one of the females. And then we got our usual marsh, which continues to flourish. And out there, you can see the asparagus patch, also, freshly hay mulched, and you can even see right there the one of the Waltham butternut squash plants, and I haven't seen any squash on them yet, but probably next month we'll see some, unless I find some when I'm doing the drone footage, in which case I'll show you that. Now, where are we then? Well, I think we're pretty much done with the garden, and here's the fire pit, and we did have a nice fire pit, including grilling on the open fire, and it was a delightful evening, and I have this, which I'm going to take a sip of. Hopefully you talked amongst yourselves during that brief interruption. Now, here's Mr. Franklin. He, like I say, although he doesn't always know where he is pretty glad to be out here, I think. He gets treats when he comes around the fire pit area, and he never whines when he's out here. He whines a lot inside, but not when he's out here. All right, what haven't we seen here? You know about all the mint that grows up in between all that wood there. You know about Vanina's ornamental grass. The tiger lilies are not tiger lilies. I was corrected on that. The daylilies are blooming like crazy because this is their time to do so. And then we got peppermint mint, some LED flowers, and some other stuff going on around here. Some other stuff going on around here. That's what I say when I don't know what I'm talking about, or I'm not sure what I should be talking about. Anyway, we got impatiens, pinks and reds down there, and we got, I think, pink and reds over there. I'm trying to zoom in. My camera work is, as usual, leaves a little to be desired. Oh, and that brings us to the pond, and frogs are jumping in, and we've got water lilies blooming, the pink ones. The white ones have not set up a bud yet. Waterfall's going okay, but it's a little slow because we need to back flush the filter. But other than that, things are looking pretty good around here. There's lots of green and lots of blooming and fairies and mushrooms and everything else going on. If you look closely, you can even see sort of a koi down there, although the water is not very clean. And then I bought a pitcher plant and what's called blue-eyed grass, and those have all closed up, but during the day they bloom these nice little purplish blue blooms. And we're growing some what we think are water lilies from seed, and I also bought some water hyacinths that look a little less than right now, but hopefully they'll come around. And not too much else to show you down here. We got We do have dianthus still around the well. They might need a little water. We still got pink and red, it looks like, impatiens in the well, but the pot needs a little work. And again, daylilies all around here, and the dianthus in the pots here that get watered every day are doing pretty well. Hello, daylilies. What else? You want me to show you the no fruit that we have? Okay, you might remember last time when we had just lots of pears. There's one. If I look, I'm okay. Well, there's one, which is more than I can say for the nectarines, which are nil, 100%. And unfortunately, the peaches are next to nil. Now, I was over here before, and I did find one. Am I aimed at it? I don't even know. I can't. Wait a minute. Let me put my glasses on. Let me zoom in. There we go. A peach. I think there's one more on this tree, but that's about it. Oh, hello. So, for better or for worse, that's where we're at. Where we're on Marvin Gardens, June 2026. Now, I have not shot drone footage, but I'm gonna. And we also got a jeez, I can't even talk. A trail cam going. It's a little longer than usual, but that's because we got so many Bambis going on. And in fact, towards the beginning of the trail cam, I have a sequence of Mom and Bambi, like at 1 a.m., just in front of the camera, and I think that Bambi is in its first hour, literally, of life. I think it's getting its first mother's milk meal, and it's walking so tenuously that and being constantly licked by Mom. So that's why you're seeing, or you will see, all those clips together that I think spans about 4 minutes or so. But I thought it was worth saving. All right, so just because he's here, if I could work the camera right, I'd show you. There's Frankie boy. Good boy. You want a treat, boy? Here. Here you go. Here you go. Good boy. And as usual, again, hopefully we've got drone footage to cover over all my lame camera work. But at least we're getting things shot. I don't know where Mr. Ranger is. I didn't see him in the compost heap. But who knows what other trouble he's getting into. He loves coming out to the garden, though. All right, so I think. I do have a second planting of brassicas and lettuce that are in under the lights right now, so I can show you that. Um, and that's about it. So it's a gorgeous. It's so peaceful today out here, um, and it's a little humid, the way it should be in summer. Um, there's virtually no breeze happening, and it's probably close to 80, maybe a little over. Um, but it's doing great, and we're doing great, and I'm glad you've joined us for Marvin Gardens June 2026. Um, and we're darn close to the high holy days of gardening. In fact, you're probably going to see a harvest basket of all the stuff I showed you while we're walking around, because it's either due or overdue for harvesting. So that's coming shortly. And but otherwise, that's going to do it. Marvin Gardens, June 2026. We'll see you next month in July, which is literally the peak of garden seasoning. Seasoning? Garden season. And what we all dream about in mid-December and stuff like that. So, all right, we'll talk to you next time. Marvin Gardens, June 2026. Bye, everybody. Ranger, leave that alone. No, 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 no. No, stop.